That's when the Browns burned their first timeout after a 6-yard run by Isaiah Crowell. The Browns used their second timeout with 4:11 left in the second quarter, following a 5-yard run by Kaiser. When the fateful drive started at 3:55 left in the half from their own 25-yard line after a strip of Seth Deviv led to a Lions touchdown, the Browns had 2 stoppages left to use, the 2-minute warning, and their only remaining timeout. They used that following a sack by Anthony Zettel with 1:17 left at the Detroit 27-yard line, in field goal range and only facing second down. The Browns eventually worked their way down to the 2-yard line, thanks to a scramble by quarterback Deshaun Kaiser. The Lions ended up doing them a favor, calling their final timeout with 19 seconds left. So, first down, 19 seconds. Even with no timeouts, that should be at least 3 plays, and that's what they were trying to do. Except in between David Njoku's inability to get 2 feet down on a throw from Kaiser in the end zone and time expiring, there was a failed sneak into Lions players using stall tactics that would make the coach of an undermanned 1960s high school basketball team proud. So, what happened? First, there was the sneak. The refs had stopped the game for a possible review, and then the play clock was going to resume as soon as they blew the whistle, tight end Seth Deviv said. So we got up on the line. We had a different play called. Deshaun took it upon himself to sneak it, which is not a bad thing to do. We didn't get it. Left guard Joel Bitonio also said the sneak was inaudible. We went up to the line and Kaiser made the call, and then we ran the sneak up there, he said. Watching the play doesn't add much clarity. Running back Duke Johnson takes a counter step to the left before following fullback Dan Vitale right. Deviv gets through the line and appears to run a pass route. Wide receiver Ricardo Lewis appears to be run blocking the whole way. It seems as if not everyone was on the same page. Then things got weird. With no timeouts, the Browns were scrambling to get on the ball and spike it to kick a field goal. The Lions weren't helping. They held on to Kaiser even after the ref had grabbed the ball from him. They laid on top of right tackle Sean Coleman as various Browns players pointed and tried to clear the pile. That's a little bit of a nuance in football, Deviv said. The defense can try and delay that from happening by not getting up, not getting set. It is what it is. Coleman tried to get up, but fell back down with the Lions defender across his legs. I don't know what the rule is, if you're allowed to hold people after the play for something like that, Bitonio said, because I think that's a smart tactic if they're not going to call anything like that. By the time the Browns were able to get lined up, the clock was at 0. Hugh Jackson threw his headset and play sheet in frustration and Johnson slammed his helmet into the ground, drawing an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty that was assessed on the opening kickoff of the second half. I was more mad at, we were trying to get up and get to the ball and spike it to try and get a field goal, but the defenders weren't getting up, Johnson said, which, I know they're taught to get off the pile slow, but I shouldn't have reacted the way I did, but it's part of the game. Bitonio was asked if he had encountered a situation like that one before. Yeah, I know D linemen are taught late in the game, when the clock is running to get up slow and take their time getting up, he said, but never to that extent. That's how the Browns went from almost certain points to nothing before halftime.